which shout out to them, man, for just this incredible product. But Team Lions, got to keep my faith, bro. I think they can come back. I hope they can come back because, well, they need to come back if they want to play for that additional $5,000 prize. Got no options, bro. They got to do it. But game number 4, it's our halfway point, Lucky, and I'm going to throw the question right back at you, brother, because you asked me, what do you do, right? So let's have the situation as it is. Point spread from 2nd to 9th is very close. What do you do in game 4 to better your chances to be in top 5?
You know what? You always have to have that quick talk with your team. Not too much, make sure everyone's still, in there. Got to be mentally checked in. But, okay, are we struggling in the kills? Are we struggling in the placement?
Sure.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then if it's the kills, maybe you find out where slowing down is at the beginning, middle, or end. And if it's a placement, slow down the tempo. A lot of teams start posting up once Resurgence is closed. Maybe post up a minute before. Because if you end up getting eliminated once Resurgence is closed, you're working regain while teammates are posted up. Oh, it's not going to happen. And just like that, empathy is going to go down. First elimination of the day. Mixie?
Empathy down. Yeah, Smixy on your screen. And Lucky, by the way, just to highlight that was a great point, especially, and I never really considered that, but yeah, when Resurgence is going to end, a lot of teams will, lose 1 or 2, and that hurts you so much, because then you have to go for the rebuy, or you have to use your, your valuable flares that you want to try and keep the end game, but setting up early on, right, maybe a minute before Resurgence, Lucky, that's incredibly smart.
Yeah, you know what? You start to kind of find these trends with these teams in these lobbies, right? You don't want to be too late. You don't want to be too early. And that's where the teams like these are going to be able to shine. You hop on a board when it comes to the last minute before Resurgence closes. They're posted up. They're rooftops. They're looking up, looking for the people regaining, getting those eliminations with the Cronin and Attack Me and going on from there. But Smixy, I mean, he hasn't been having too hot of a game, but we don't know where it's like going wrong yet,
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they are in 10th place for what it's worth. So they're in 10th place. They've made it to at least the leaderboard. They're at 33 points, so they're 22 points away from catching up to, let's just say, Hisoka, who's currently still sitting in 3rd place. So they're not doing terribly bad, right? And I don't criticize them because they're a bad roster. They're clearly not. They're in World Series Warzone for a reason. Smixy, the only female to make it to the global finals.
Amazing.
But, they do find themselves in bad positions that kind of hurt them, and that's the big thing for me that they probably need to improve a little bit of, and I think finishing fights a little bit quicker. And even now, look at their spread on the map, brother. Like, Smixy is all alone by herself.
Yeah, you know what? It depends on the role you're playing with your squad. It's fine to be solo, but you got to understand that you're the solo, right? So Smixy probably shouldn't take this fight. Should probably slow it down. But if you're the 2-1, you're the 2-1 split, then of course play a little bit aggro. Another thing too is that boat right behind Smixy. Not a lot of players know this, but there's always a guaranteed 4 chests on there with a buy station. It's a great place for either regain or just land there as well.
We've seen a couple of fights on the boat, but I mean only a couple, and some of them were very exciting because they happened in in-game, right? But much like the train, I guess that's an area that you can land on whenever it comes to Vondel. Lula on your screen, love watching her play. This time around, going back to her original team of Vortex and Blade from week number 1. But it doesn't seem to be working out this week. But we're definitely going to be seeing a bit more for them, I'm sure. As an engagement up top, Vortex spots a player, and the hunt is on.
Yeah, he's got gonna get the armor break real quick. He has temperance, so we can fast push this. The shots are coming in. 10 bullets, 7 bullets. He's gonna get the knock switch attack for the full kill. And his teammate's right there, Blade, right there, okay? Or there's a second player there. Quick bait and switch. I love how they're playing the teamwork. And again, like you mentioned, this is the OG team. They have the chemistry. They're already there. I didn't even hear comms, but the guy was like, I'm with you. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. No comms needed with the squad.
And that's sometimes the best squads like out there, where they understand, look, I know what you're doing. We don't even have to talk about it. I'm going to be right there on your heels. I've got your back. And that just gives you the added confidence to continue to push, which Vortex is continuing to push. Switching over to Brolic, though, as he gets an unfortunate drop. He was his trio was all alive, right? In game number 2, we saw 2 jump through a window. They get eliminated. Brolic drops down. He gets eliminated. 1, 2, 3 down, as you called it. They finished in 5th place. This time around, it looks like they're still running into some issues.
Yeah, they're going to actually fall 5th place, I believe, in 2nd. So it's not too bad, but they got to have to clean it up, right? Everyone's shooting for 1st place. It's just always there. Everyone wants there, but top 5 gets you paid. Money's money. Makes me happy, makes you happy. You got to get the money. So hopefully they can clean stuff up, be a little bit more consistent with the team. But hopping on board Smitty, who was a newer addition for week 2, for Hisoka's team as well, and they decided to keep him going into week 3. This looked like a solid squad so far. Face maybe trying to get some shots in the water for the Sharks. Get that?
He's the shark.
Yep.
There are the minnows swimming around. Well, it depends. Let's see what ends up happening, because some of those sharks, man, they'll come up and bite you even if you do have the high ground. But no, I thought I was going in the water. I was like, my heart can't take it anymore, brother. Stay on that high ground, dude. You don't want to go down there. It's going to get dicey. But Skullface will camp near the bridge, assuming someone's going to go ahead and crawl or swim, I should say, through the little tunnel area down below. But it doesn't end up happening. And where is he? Is there someone in there? I can't tell.
I think someone just flew in. It was Smitty. He's going in. He said, I'll handle it. He'll spawn in with the pistol. He'll be able to get the knock. Gonna get the knock on them. All right there to share. So there's two actually in the water. Skullface is, you know, he's thinking like, all right, hold on. Schmidt just went in there. I thought there was one. There's two. I'm going to back it up. The Sharks win this battle. And, I'm out.
I'm out, dude. Hisoka also down. Tense moment now for Skullface. Now, Smitty will get back in, though, so that's going to be great. At least a little bit of added insurance. And Skullface, we've seen him in this very position, right, kind of hanging out on the edge of the water and taken down. But this time he gets out with his life. The smoke saves him, but he's not wanting to get too much distance. He wants to stay back as or at least as close as possible so he can assist Z-Smith. Gets Hisoka back into the mix. But honestly, this fight is still not done with, and lucky, it's anybody's game.
Yeah, and you know, Skullface is realizing he's gonna get the knock, and no, it's gonna be another squad coming in to be able to get that. It's gonna be AB Wiz. I believe he's with FIFA Kill. We'll get that knock. But notice what Skullface did just a second ago. He was the last alive, and he's not saving that flare right till endgame. He knows he's in trouble. He knows his team's pulling up, so he pops that flare real quick. Gets his teammate up. He falls, but he's able to stay alive. Now on board with Rated, and take a look at the zone. Actions on Castle Zone. What do you think about that one?
Yeah. I like it, man. We don't see it too often, you know, which is going to be great, but it's also going to get scrappy for sure. Going to get scrappy, and the fact that Rated them is already going to be there is going to be wonderful, and they have good positioning, but, or at least they don't. They need to get there if they can, push up. I'm kind of thinking, man, for them, Rated's at 2. We know that they're playing with Doggy. I don't know. They're not even in top 10, so I'm glad we're getting a chance to kind of watch what they're about and see what's going on.
Yeah, hopefully we see some things change. We're now in game number 4, which in 4 and 5, you really got to have a shifted change in your placement and your points, especially if you want to secure the top 5 position and you're not top 10 already. Brady's a great IGL, and looks like he's going to make the calls like, let's gatekeep. Let's hold this area down. We got to get the kills up. There's still an 19 teams still remaining. But he's got to be careful because that Castle Row, I mean, half of it's on water. You got to cross a bridge to get there. It's going to be difficult.
Got to go through the moat. Got the moat that's around, man. Avoid the alligators. All right, we're talking about sharks. Got alligators over there. At least back in the day, they did. Brutal, man. Living in the 1500. I don't know. I wasn't there. Maybe.
Don't go outside.
Chat thinks I might have been with how old that I am, but I wasn't. I promise. But either way, Rated laying down some fire. You'd love to see that, and good on them for doing so. And yeah, they are going to have to rotate in, I think, but for the time being, they're going to be a bit split. By the way, an update, Lucky. Hisoka's team, we watched Skullface desperately trying to stay alive. They've been fully eliminated, so this is going to be another game where they get a low placement. They were in 3rd, hanging on tight, but surely they're going to drop down outside top 5 once this game is concluded.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team that could definitely make the comeback, but it's about being mentally, you know, checked in. Okay? We don't want to check out just yet. They're a team that can make the comeback, but they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, especially going into game 5. They want to try to secure top first. And, you know, obviously get Diaz out of there because rivals, right? You're not going to let the same team win 3 times in a row. So they got to lock in.
Not.
Hopefully, you know, who knows what's going to go on.
Look at it. Adrian and Dongi have gone ahead and moved forward, brother, and Rated. He's kind of hanging back for the time being, which might pay off. It looks like there's quite a few trios who are going to have to rotate into him as he fires some shots at one. He at least is going to, you know, tag him up. He's not going to drop him, but it's all the tags you get, you're dropping down those plates. You're still putting yourself in a better position once they do ultimately end up pushing out to you. When does Rated join his team, or when does Rated get a little bit closer, or does he stay where he's at? It seems to be paying off a little bit.
You know what? If I'm Rated, I got 5K in my bank account. I'm hitting that fire sale real quick for a little discounted UAV and getting ready for the next rotation as Adrian and Dongi go in and clear out this solo. Because although it's a solo, right, it's not about, you know, getting that fight. Dongi should get that cleanup. Or Adrian, hopefully, but it's the players that fall coming in. There it is. Gonna hit the fire cell. He's gonna hit it. Oh, he's going to go in and just hit the zip line and go for a quick rotation. Back onto high ground. I love that play.
I like it as well. Like you said, back on the high ground, you could get a bit dicey, but this is the moment where Rated says, it's not time just yet. I like where I'm at. I know there's some trios behind me. I'm going to go ahead and post up and hold on to what I got. My boys are to my left. You're not picking up elims right now, but once Resurgence ends, that's when things are going to start getting a bit crazy and plenty of bullets to go through. Tags, no worries, he could just drop back down. So I'm a big fan of what they're doing, even if it appears to be very slow. Now, on to the first place team. We got to get on board with Diazbiffle, who's up top, or should be up pushing teammates. He's the tip of the spear. He's fragging out. He's at 8 eliminations. It looks like another great game from this squad.
Yeah, it's actually going to be going up against Super Evan, his former duo back in called Dare. Is going to get elimination on that, following up. He sees where his next teammate's going to be. Then Live Ping's coming to play. The shots are looking clean. No need to fear. Shifty's close enough to get that follow-up. Is he going to do it, or is he going to slow it down? With the MP7 in hand, and that's a mobility gun, right? That's your SMG. That's the thing that's going to be able to close those gaps in, close them fast. When mortar strikes coming into play, he's going to clear that area out. Ooh, Hyler's going to pick up, and you're going to slow it down. You're going to slow it down, back it up. Not a good push.
Not a good push, right? Sometimes you just got to pump the brakes, and we've seen that this trio can do exactly that. That's what makes them so good. They're very versatile. I want to say they're at 10 eliminations, for sure, minimum 10 eliminations. They're going to be at more because he's at 8. We just saw 2 on his partner. Straight into water, though. Biffle gets caught off guard, forced to swim away. Sage might have to help him out, but Biffle miraculously is able to get away. Hopefully they don't stay here too long. And this is the area Hisoka's roster was eliminated from just a little bit ago, and it seems to still be popping off.
Yeah, and notice, although Church, right, and we got Castle being the last POIs in the zone, there's not many positions to hold out. You got 2 spots in the top of Castle and only 1 on Church. So there's not a lot of options. Players may think there is. There's not a lot of options, and I think Diaz is recognizing that, calling out the rotation here with Sage and Shifty right with him. They're going to push in. He's watching over. He's going to be the entry man with MP7, and they're going to take that high ground and hopefully get there quick because we got 15 seconds. No more respawns. You're done.
Ooh, taking a little bit of a dip. Sage out, Nate's out, and he gets away miraculously, man. Again, I love the ability of Warzone pros, Warzone competitive players to be able to disengage more so than they are able to engage, and Resurgence is now disabled, which means Sage getting away in the moment that he did was so valuable because now he still has his life.
Say so, but I'm not a fan of this position right here. Just, you got your opening on the back, you got top. Top Castle looking down at you. They got to figure out something, whether that's taking over Church and looking down or just repositioning itself. It looks like Sage is going to be the one to make the call there. Shifty's going to get the first knock on Zyro. Made it end game, but not long enough because there's still 17 teams remaining.
Yeah, a lot of teams. A lot of teams, though, right? Compared to what we've seen in the previous games leading up to this point. So I don't know why that is, but it just kind of turned out to be the case. And I'm curious. You mentioned what would Castle end game look like? Well, we're about to see it. There's red dots everywhere, and for the first time, I feel Biffle and Co. are in probably one of the worst positionings they've had yet, which is really going to challenge how good can they really be.
You're getting shot from here. You're getting shot from these windows.
It might be reflections. It might be chopped on this rotation. We'll see.
I'm thinking. I'm thinking they might.
Got Hyler picking up too. Top Assholes taking a look at them. They're focusing on the players coming in on the left-hand side, though, which is great. Right? They're not focused on the people on top high ground. They're not going to get the full domination. Sage is down for the count. Players coming in. Reflections, do you think, getting that aggro this end game and wasting a flare on this fight, you think it's worth it? It's worth the eliminations? They have a good amount.
They do have a good amount, and that's the question they have to ask themselves, because now you got to think about the multiplier. That's going to be big, because I think they have enough eliminations to justify kind of camping it out, not being aggro, to go for the multiplier, because you're already in first. You're getting 20, 30 points per game that you're been playing in. If they can get top 5 at this moment, I think they're going to be sitting pretty lucky. So for them, aggro's not the answer. If they didn't have a lot of eliminations, I think, yeah, you can afford to get aggro. But now, honestly, the ball's in their court. But are they a trio that wants to stay back? I don't think they are. And with a lot of great shots being hit by Shifty, you also have, of course, Sage and Biffle, who's going to be pushing up, capitalizing off the damage from Shifty. I think they decide to get a lot of aggro.
And RNG is going to be on their side. The zone's actually going to pull right towards them. And somebody mentioned it in chat as well. Castle, the reason why the lobby scene is so healthy is there's so many levels to it, right? There's only 2 on the high ground, 2 spots to go high ground, but other than that, there's multiple levels in Castles. It can get a little crazy, especially crazy for Natasha, who's going to try to rotate in on the right-hand side. Oh, the shots are coming in. A little bit of a late rotator, and there, your reflections, your fan favorite gas play is gonna come in.
Yeah, love it. That was Inno too. Inno's got to stay up. Talented player. Got to just hang it out, and that's kind of his best call at the moment. Don't know if he has any flares to get his teammates back into play, but that gas mask, it's about to break. He's taking a lot of damage from the bridge behind. He's going to drop. Self-revive's only going to help him for so long, and it looks like they're going to have to be satisfied with a top 10 position. Not bad from them, but I'm sure they wanted it to be a bit better. Sage getting the res off. Always risky to do, but it looks like it's paying off for Biffle.
I think they're spread out enough to be able to keep other teams at bay. Diaz is going to go ahead and get the revive, picking up a flare as well. 8 plays to work with, no self-revive. These teammates are going to be on their own if they get knocked, especially when it comes down to the last couple seconds of this match. Going into 6th zone. He is now trying to use that Chrono as a power position to keep these players at bay. The gatekeeping's looking clean. Shifty's down again. Reflections.
Shifty's down again. Like you mentioned, that rotation, they might be chalked, but it's not over just yet, is it? Shifty's down, can still get rest. You got Sage, I believe, who's going to be going for it. Meanwhile, Biffle's laying down that gunfire. We are really starting to see a great example as to why this trio consistently wins from week 1 to week 2. Is consistently in first place. Biffle will not stop. He's at 13 elimination, and he's going for one more.
God! He is the last man standing as Shifty was getting the res on Sage, and he's like, oh, don't worry, I got it. Gonna pick up 3 eliminations right there, sitting at 13. 2 teams remaining, 7 players left.
How the fuck is the durable? Here, I'm dropping you the money.
Sage now calling the plays.
Come back, get your durable.
Getting the durable, good play coming in. Sage, keeping the boys in check.
You guys can go right, bro. Go right, go right.
I can't stop smiling, Lucky.
Oh
Dude,
man, it's looking
you
good.
know, from Hisoka on Monday to now watching Biffle do his thing, it's just some of these Warzone guys are just so incredibly talented. It's ridiculous. Shifty, another elimination going his way. He'll get the finish. Dude, 27, right? They got 27 elimination in game 1. This honestly could be a 30 bomb.
Yeah, they're looking to clean it up. 3v2v1 situation. No, excuse me, 3v1v1. Dog is gonna go ahead and not go out without a fight. Gonna go ahead and get down Sage. Diaz said, don't worry, got the flare. Shifty, don't gonna fall down. Now it's a 1v1v2. Chrono shots looking clean. That's a team wipe on them. That's on Limax. 2v1. Can Doggy do it? It'll be amazing if he does, but Diaz says, no, not today. We're cleaning it up with 34!
34! 34! Whoa! Holy crap! Disgusting indeed. I think you put it out there in the universe, Lucky, and you are lucky indeed. You said 30 bombs today, 30 minimum today, 34 eliminations. That is now a record when it comes to Lions versus Drake, the Vondel battles, and it looks like Biffle doesn't even care. He's smiling, but he's like, whatever, we're used to doing this. I'd be ecstatic. I'm ecstatic now.
It's an everyday thing for Diaz and Co. It seems like they were able to secure 34 in first place. If they already weren't in a big enough lead going into game 4, it's gonna get bigger, especially with their rivals Hisoka falling early. It's gonna look difficult to catch up to Diaz now in first, man.